Being slow today. Hey, it's me. I'm here and I'm alive. Yes, I am. I am alive. I'm alive and I'm live. It's a good thing, huh? Yeah. So if I wasn't live, I wouldn't be here. Well, I might be here, but somebody else be talking. So it's Saturday once again, and here I am with my news and chat show. Uh, Hopefully somebody will tune in to hear it. Otherwise, go out there into the ether, and you'll just have to tune in later and watch it. I would hope. Um, got some good stories today. Of course, I got to wait till 4:20 so I can get buzzed before I can read this shit. Okay. So stick around. Strange stories. Well, not really strange. They're news stories, current news stories, but stuff you might not hear otherwise. So I'll get to the news in a minute. I'm just waiting for 4:20. I got to get a buzz on here before I get started. So we just got another minute or so to go. And then I'll read you the news. I got some news stories for you. We'll get started pretty soon. Less than a minute. So I got my cone filled. I'm all ready. So it won't be long. We'll do some newsing, we'll do some chatting, provided somebody comes into the chat. Otherwise, I'll just be talking to myself as usual. I do a lot of that. I don't know, not a lot of people coming into the chat lately. I don't know how I alienated people, but I did. I found a way. So we'll see what happens here today. Maybe I just bored them to death. I have no idea. But I somehow did that. Chased a lot of people away. Happy 420, folks. There. Something decent in my lungs. Oh, yeah. Hey, it's pretty good. We'll get to what it is in a little bit. But for right now, I'm just going to smoke it before I tell you what it is. So, James Comey, former director of the FBI, and former deputy director Andrew McCabe, both of whom had high-profile fights with the orange guy and were ultimately fired, or somehow coincidentally, randomly, purely by chance, Charles Reddick. Lawmakers on Thursday were calling for full investigation into the matter. They were served with something called a national research program at the IRS. This is a microscopic search of a taxpayer's records happening to Comey, and a 1 in 20,000 chance of this happening to McCabe. For the two of them, there's a 1 in 600 million chance that they would in the same year. Okay, out of the 150 million taxpayers. Reddick claims he never spoke to Trump and that these were randomly selected, and he welcomes this investigation. I find it all hard to believe. as I'm sure you do. So Derek Chauvin, the former Minnesota cop who knelt on George Floyd until he was dead. Yeah, well, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison Thursday on a separate federal charge that he violated Floyd's civil rights when he knelt on his neck and ignored his cries for help. So in December, Chauvin had pled guilty, and the plea deal recommended a 20 to 25-year sentence. Last month, prosecutors were asking for the maximum 25 years, arguing that his actions were cold-blooded. Now, Chauvin's defense attorney asked for 20 years, pointing to his client's acceptance of his wrongdoing. Stoney, welcome aboard. Just talking about Derek Chauvin getting 20 years from the feds for violating Floyd's civil rights. So he was sentenced to 20 years. But it's run concurrently with his 22.5-year sentence that he's serving with the state. So it really didn't add any more time to the time he's serving. Well, they threw in an extra 5 months for when he knelt on that 14-year-old's neck and rendered him unconscious. Yeah, he's going to learn a lot. Oh, they're transferring him too from a state facility to a federal facility, but he's not any safer there. I think his face is pretty well known by now. So I think he's in deep shit. So the weed of the week. Cops in jail is a real boo-foo. Yes. It's a butt fucker. So, weed of the week is l'orange. Or if you're an American, it's L-orange. So, it's a sativa dominant. Yes, deep shit. It's sativa dominant and it's 30.9% THC. So it's getting up there. And here's my wow stories. Brett Kavanaugh. He was out Wednesday night at a Morton's Steakhouse in D.C. And a bunch of pro-choice protesters found out he was there. So they had to sneak him out the back door. And Morton's Steakhouse made a statement. In part, they said that he and the other customers had a right to congregate and eat dinner. But I don't think that's in the Constitution that you have a right to congregate and eat dinner. So that sounds like it sounds to me like since it's not in the Constitution, kind of like Roe v. Wade, he didn't have that right. So tough shit, Brett Kavanaugh. He didn't have that right any more than they have a right to an abortion, right? I mean, he decided that last week or 2 weeks ago. Yes, he's stepping the bet only he made. Yes. So, he'll have to write that into the Constitution or something. He has no right to privacy any more than anybody else at this point. It's the way I see it. So, Elon Musk is terminating his Twitter, but the company vowed Friday to complete the deal. setting the stage for a legal battle. Harley, welcome aboard. So Musk attorneys sent a letter to Twitter claiming he has a right to withdraw from the agreement because Twitter has not been forthcoming with information about the company's business. He filed his intentions with the Securities and Exchange Commission on Friday. Twitter said that they will take legal action. There's a $1 billion dropout deal from that thing too in their contract. So Harley Warden just handed me your package. How you timed that so well? I'll do a shout out. Okay. So it could end up costing him $1 billion even if he does drop out. So 2 weeks after SCOTUS overturned Roe v. Wade, Biden signed an executive order aimed at protecting access to abortion nationally, despite some states to outlaw or some states' efforts to outlaw or severely restrict it. Biden referred to the court's decision as extreme and totally wrong. Choco hazel mint. Ooh. Sounds good. He also urged women to exercise their political power by showing up in numbers at the polls in November. Now, the executive order instructs the Justice Department to make sure women can travel out of state for abortion care. Efforts to protect mobile clinics deployed to state borders to treat out-of-state patients. Directs the AG to convene volunteer lawyers and organizations to encourage robust legal representation of patients, providers, and third parties lawfully seeking or offering reproductive health care services. Biden also said he would provide leave for federal workers traveling for medical care. So, y'all already smoked it. Must be good, huh? Oh, it needs cure time. I see. So, I'm having trouble with my Gorilla Glue. Maybe you guys can help me. The leaves are coming in real thin. Okay, they're not very wide. And they're browning out and curling on the tips. So, and they're not dark. They're not green enough. What's wrong? Leaves are real thin. I would have been able to get the abortion I wanted in high school. Would have had to watch her be raised by idiots and end up killing herself with cocaine. You got nitrogen toxicity. How do I handle that? I didn't add anything to the soil. Kept her from me to 14 and lied where she lived. Wow. Microbes in water. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm not a green bicycle person. Everybody raved about that shit, and I said, I'm going my own way. Okay. No, I don't use that stuff. I've been going my own way. Well, my other plants are doing great. Yeah, the pH is fine. See, I've been using a living soil. And this living soil that I put this one particular one in was from an old bag. So the other 5 plants I got going was in fresh soil that I just bought, and they're doing great. So I don't know what I was thinking of, just transplanting the bastard into fresh soil. See if that'd make a difference. It's nitrogen hot. I see. Because I haven't added anything to the soil. It's just soil I've always used. So I don't know what's going on, but I'll do what you say. I stepped out of it nicely. It was all twisted. I'll do what you say, though. I'll take care of it today. After the show, I'll be on top of that thing. Not physically, because I'd crush it, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, but my other plants are going beautifully. The other 5 are doing great. So, what's everybody smoking today? This L'Orange is pretty good. Not a lot of cough in it, which is good for me because I'm raspy enough. My dehumidifier is fucked up. Hasn't used it. Got bud rot. Oh no. Sorry to hear that. Chocolate hazelnut. Yeah, I guess you would be. I would do if I had it. 70%. Holy shit. It's weird, we had all that heat. Had all that heat in June, and now that it's July, we're cooling off. It's only 80 today, and humidity is low. It's only 44%. So I don't know what's going on with this weather here. Just crazy. I mean, this is we're getting May, June weather in July, and we had July, August weather in June. So And we've been getting rain again, so that's good because we had a drought there for a while. About as much sense as there. You lost me at the end of that. As much sense as. But again, and she was hot as fuck. It's somebody's girlfriend. Figure it out. Okay. It's somebody's high school girlfriend. Oh, it's my high school girlfriend. Oh, okay. You got me there. Don't go away. It's time to play Stuff the Stoner. Stuff the SPLIFFY. Yeah, there you go. Oh man, that one did it. There. That's better. I can breathe again. Hottest day you've had, huh? And we're 80, which is one of our cooler days lately. So kind of happy with that. So I went up to the city Thursday. Spent the day with my granddaughter. It's the first time I've ever spent time alone with her in her entire life. You're close to complaining. So I never spent a single moment alone with her in her entire life. She just graduated from the 8th grade. So I figured since she's never spent any time alone with me, I'd tell her my life story. She's lived in the same house all her life. And so I took her to all the places I've ever lived. And I went to 5 different grade schools and 2 different high schools. We moved around a lot. So she got a tour of the city like she could not possibly have imagined. And I told her my whole life story. But I left out the icky parts. But she got quite an education, quite a tour of Chicago, and quite a tour of some pretty nasty neighborhoods too. So, of course, they weren't so nasty when I lived in them, but it was a different city back then, you know. So, Chicago was where I grew up, but that's not the city I lived in, if you know what I mean. It's changed a lot over the years. It's changed a lot since I moved out of there 22 years ago. So, I mean, people weren't shooting each other quite as much as they are now. Like with this prime minister in Japan, Abe, this guy had to make a gun in order to kill him. Okay, because guns are that outlawed in Japan. In fact, last year in Japan, they had 10 shootings. Okay, and one death. Okay, He left the parts like got laid right there the first time. I puked over there once. I beat the fuck out of the dude over here. Exactly. I left out all of that stuff. But we went to the here's here's was we went to this diner. I know. I'm saying they had 10 shootings and only one death in the entire year last year. Okay. But guns are completely outlawed there too. Okay. You can't own a gun there. And that's why to shoot this prime minister, they had the guy had to make his own gun. So anyway, there's this diner in Chicago that's been there since 1965. It's called Salt and Pepper. And I love their pancakes. They're just not like anybody else's pancakes. There's just something about them. And I really like their pancakes. They're not real cakey. They're more spongy than cakey. And that's what I like about them. So I told her we're going to go to the Salt and Pepper Diner, our first stop. So we get there and the diner is gone. But they have a new location, okay, called a Dash of Salt and Pepper, about 4 blocks away. So we go to the new location. And I'm raving about these pancakes. I order the pancakes. She orders avocado toast and a scrambled egg. Okay. So I have pancakes. She has avocado toast and scrambled egg. I said, how is it? She says, it's more like guacamole on a hockey puck. So throughout the day, she's puking. Okay. I'm stopping the car and she's throwing up. Okay. So the guacamole on the hockey puck was not a good choice. She should have had the pancakes. Okay. Listen to your grandfather. When you go into the diners he recommends, get the pancakes. Okay. Pancakes were fabulous. Guacamole on a hockey puck was not so hot. So, I mean, by the end of the day, she was throwing up things she didn't even know if she ate. Okay. So, didn't work out so well for her. So, I apologize for taking her to breakfast. But she made the choice. So, but I'm assuming she had a good time. She said she did. I'll have to ask my daughter sometime. But I told her we were poor. A couple of the places we went to were gone now. The houses are gone. Well, they were apartment buildings, but the buildings are gone. But I mean, the first place I lived was a 4-room apartment, and there were 4 of us and my grandparents, and it was a cold water flat, and we shared the bathroom. Well, it was just a toilet with another apartment down the hall. Every 2 minutes, you'd lift your head from the toilet and assure you I had fun. Well, there was no toilet. It was pull over to the curb and open the door. Okay. So I don't know if it was my driving or if it was the food. But I mean, so I had some pretty poor beginnings. I think she was surprised. I mean, we never did own a home. And my wife and I inherited our first home, so from her parents. So I don't know that we ever would have owned a home otherwise. So. But it was a fun day, I thought. Got acquainted with her at least, you know. Although she didn't talk much, so I yelled at her. She says, "Talk to me." Wasn't really yelling, just a little loud. But I had a good time anyway. I don't know about her. She said she did, but so my bestie's on her way back from Arizona. Got a text from her this morning. Took my daughter to lunch once. Some dude tried to pull his motorcycle into my park spot. As I was pulling in, I just kept backing in. He got pissed and got in my face and said, "If I had a gun," I said, "I'd shove it up your ass." My daughter laughed. Yeah. Dad, you a badass. Yeah. Oh, really? Well, you raised her right. Stand up for your rights, okay? Well, my bestie's daughter was on the high school wrestling team, and she was the only girl on the team from her high school. They didn't have a girls team; they just had a wrestling team. And she went to a meet at a nearby high school, and she put this guy down in 8 seconds. I mean, he was walking back to the bench with tears in his eyes because he'd been bragging before he went out there that he was going to beat the shit out of this chick, and then he had to go back to the bench and face. Okay, he had to go back and face the bench. The guys at the bench that he had just been bragging to, because she's like 5'2" or something. Okay, but I think it's that low center of gravity gives her that advantage. So yeah, she finished second in the state. So you'd ask her out after the match. Yeah. Well, yeah, she don't. She can take care of herself. So tough little girl. But she's not wrestling in college. Figure on a national level, she wouldn't stand a chance. But here in the States, she did good. So, but I think that's because she was on an all boys team. You know. But I think going up, let's play Twister. But I think going up against girls on a national level, she'd have a tough time. But having wrestled boys in Illinois, she did okay. But I would imagine there's some pretty tough girls out there. That's funny. I could see that. I could see that. Back then, you'd probably sport a Woody over Tinkerbell. Didn't take much, you know. As I recall, didn't take much. My partner, his son was very young, maybe 8, and he was laying on the floor with his pillow watching television, and he had his hand inside his pajamas. Yes, she does. Kind of a little skirt kind of a thing, yeah. So he's got his hand inside his pajama pants. And my partner says to him, he says, Jay, what are you doing? He says, I was just counting my nuts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The Morton Salt girl, yeah. So he was counting his nuts. Yeah. Yes, yes. Count them backwards and forwards. 1, 2, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1. Yeah, binary. Yes, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, you didn't have to count very high. If you got the 3, I'd be worried. The faster you count, the better. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he knows numbers anyway, you know. Cute kid too. It's like learning to swim. Do you hold on to your nuts? Gotta know your nads. Gotta know your nads to learn to swim. Okay. You say so. Use them as a rudder. Or a keel, I guess be a keel, huh? Especially at my age. They get longer. That's why I stopped wearing shorts. We pull malicious tomorrow. Macalicious. Macalicious. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm still carrying that cherry train haze. I like to put things in a long cure. Little lung in the tooth and testicles. Okay. Hope it doesn't have any testicles. You don't want any testicles. Isn't it? In most cases. Scully asked me to write a story for him to read. I'm trying to decide one. A story. Write a story. Story from your youth. Ah, there you go. Or you could write something fictional. Like once upon a time there were 3 bears. Something like that, Audio locus. Ah, cool. Yeah, I do too. Beats reading. My very first job, and you probably will not believe this, my very first job I got out of the Army, I worked for the Chicago Public Library as a record duster for books for the blind. Yeah, you can hear the Constitution. Yeah, I can't read it in that. I can hear it. Yeah, I dusted records for books for the public library. It lasted a half a day. I went to lunch and never. Yeah, I was a librarian. Yeah. People I worked with were nuts. You'd have to be to sit there and just dust records all fucking day. You'd have to be out of your fucking mind. And they were. I had to get out of there. I went to lunch and never went back. I mean, these people were absolute lunatics. I don't know if the job drove them crazy or if they were crazy when they got hired. I pulled a Baltimore Jack, went out for a cigarette, but never came back. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It was, see, back then, if you went on unemployment compensation, the state would send you on job interviews. Okay. And I went on the job interview and I thought, what the hell? I didn't want to take money from the government. I just wanted a job because I was collecting unemployment because I got out of the service. And I was entitled to it. Okay. But I would just wanted a job is what I wanted. Compensation. I wanted a job. So they offered me a job and I took it. But it was back to the unemployment office and they sent me to the First National Bank and I took a job there. And I worked there about, I don't know, 3 months. And I moved to another bank that paid more. And I worked there about a year and a half and went to work for a driving school. But I didn't teach driving. I worked inside. People would call up. They gave away, they advertised. No, I wasn't a teller. I operated this great big machine where I processed checks that were damaged. You know, where like the encoding on the bottom couldn't be read, or they had gone through a check sorter and had been torn up. I processed those checks. Okay. And I had this great big machine with a whole bunch of different separate compartments. And I'd enter in the information on the check, you know, like and then I'd hit whatever compartment it was to be sorted into, and a little door would open, and I'd put it in that compartment. And this machine was so old that only the CEO of National Cash Register could repair the fucker. Okay. So when it broke down, he had to come and repair it. Okay. My cousin worked at a place where they removed torn money too. Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. And then twice a day, I had to go to the Federal Reserve for clearings. And I'd take all these bundles of checks and go there and exchange with other banks. So it was fun because I had like a couple of hours where I wasn't at the bank and I had time to fuck off. So it was a good job for fucking off. You know, you know, fuck off a lot. You know, in fact, all the jobs I had all my life, I get fuck off a lot. So especially the liquor, you know, and you had people sign forms, you know, and then you'd fill in the time later. So yeah, me too. I like that. I like that a lot. You know, I decide what I do when, you know. Yeah, I've been at it since 2008. So I'm real good at it, you know. I got it down, you know. I think I perfected it, in fact, you know. I know what I'm doing. You're shutting down a flower room? How many you got? It's hard to store for a long time. 2, I see. Ship it here, I'll store it. Wink, wink. 6 and a 4 by 12. Oh, I see. I see. 4 by 12 will be a bedroom. So you just have a grow room and a bedroom instead of 2 grow rooms. So instead of flipping from grow to veg, you'll just move things from grow to veg. I see. So in other words, you'll cut your production in half. Yeah, I see. See, I'm not so stupid. Just like I more than doubled mine. As I figure I can grow a lot more in a 3 box. I see. Yeah, well, it's expensive here to buy it. And that's why I'm growing it. Oh, they use salts. I see. Yeah. See, it's $2.50 an ounce here for weed. I can understand that. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm happy with what I'm doing, you know. So things are going well. This, at least up until now, with this Gorilla Glue. Let her grow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't, growing chemically just doesn't make any sense to me, You've never successfully grown Gorilla Glue? Oh, maybe that's my problem. Maybe it's just a tough strain, huh? It was going so beautifully too. I don't know. Just my luck. Like you say, maybe it's just the strain. She can herm too, huh? Oh, great. I need that. But it's chronic as fuck. Well, I like to hear that. Well, I'll do what I can with it, What can I say? She's nice and bushy. Okay. I've spread her out nice, and she's a nice bushy little plant. Just hope I can get her to do something. Get her on the right path. We'll see. I got Heidi over here. Okay. I will. I'll do that. I suppose I could. Test the pH? Why not? I could certainly do that. Okay. Holy shit. Yeah, I'll do that. Holy cow. Yeah, I'll check it. I'll do that. Yeah, because, I don't want to lose it. It was Colin given to me by my bestie, so I don't want to disappoint her. Or TCA. No, this is not a satanic channel. We're just kicking back here. Talking weed, actually. We're not satanic. In fact, we're atheistic, or what else would I call it? Agnostic. When it comes to anything of that nature. Yeah. But mostly we talk weed. So, in fact, a few more minutes, I can spark another one up. Another will be 420 somewhere. Born again pagans, yeah. That's a good one. I might look satanic, but I'm not. I'm just a guy who shaves his head and has a goatee. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess you can move on, because we're not satanic. No, I might turn red when I cough, but that's as close as I come to the devil. I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in. I believe. We need to expand, Spliffy. Oh, okay. What should I do? Blow myself up? I could take deeper hits. That would expand me. Both are made. Yes. Yes, to raise money. That's what it's all about. Religion is organized superstition. So they created heaven, they created hell, so they could take your money. That's what it's all about. That's why they did that. If there was no heaven and hell, there'd be no churches, and they wouldn't have a way to rob you of your funds. That's how they take advantage of the poor. They get them in the church, and then they take what little money they have. They even mark them poor boxes, so the poor people they know where to put their money. Remember the song? I'm sure. There ain't no heaven, and I pray there ain't no hell. Sure, blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, I remember that one. Sure. Often because it's cold way down there. Sure. I remember that one. You know me, I remember all those songs. For all the old ones, you know. Oh, yeah? Well, they had good taste in music. I saw them when I was out in Arizona. When was that? 2006. They were doing a charity concert at a casino out there, an Indian casino, and it was Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Steppenwolf, and somebody else. Steppenwolf, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Reeked of something I didn't recognize till 7 to when I smoked it myself. Yeah, all of them. And then it was only $25 too for all three bands. Okay. In fact, I bought a Steppenwolf T-shirt there. He claimed John Cain claimed it was his final tour. He was going to become an entrepreneur, he said. So we'll see. I don't know. He might still be touring. Yeah, he was German. John Cain from Steppenwolf. He's German. Hey, don't do that. But yeah, I'd watch that instead of a hooker with 25 teeth. Yes, pay $1 per tooth. Yeah, it was a good concert, outdoor thing. So they all put on a good show, all three bands, as you can imagine, Grand Funk was good. Remember who closed the show? I think Steppenwolf closed the show. Grand Funk, Blood, Sweat, and Tears opened. Or Grand Funk opened the show. So. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it thoroughly. A bunch of old timers like that. I fit right in. So. Bands from 50 years ago can still play. It says music has not progressed. No, it means rock and roll has not died. Or at least the people that perform it haven't. Spell check, Spliff. I think it says music has not progressed. Yeah. I think these guys want to go outside. I got the two of them pestering me here. Yes, I can read stoner. Give me a second to let these two animals out. Come on. Come by the door. Come on. Come on, kids. Oops. Okay. Ooh, I missed 420. I'm within the 5-minute grace period, though. So, happy 424. They're gonna talk next week about the rioters themselves. So next week it's the rioters themselves. Yeah, cheers to you. So they're gonna have like Proud Boys and that kind of stuff testifying and showing films of the riots themselves and testimony from the connections to the administration. Those are the connections they're going to show. Meetings beforehand with connected to the administration. Yeah, they are. They are traitors. In fact, that's part of their creed is to overthrow the government. So, and the Proud Boys have been bodyguards to what's his name? Stone. And so, I mean, they're definite connections to the White House and these so they have testimony that appeared before the committee. They're going to be playing that. And the tactics, and they're going to talk about the tactics they used, okay, to motivate the crowd, and that sort of thing. And how they were at the Capitol already before Trump even finished his speech. Okay, so they were already, pushing against the barricades when he was still talking. So, it wasn't that, after the speech they went down there. That wasn't the case at all. Absolutely. Yeah, and Trump, Antifa, and Antifa is what went over there to kill the Nazis. Okay, we were Antifa. If you have any relatives that went over there to fight in World War II, they were Antifa. Okay. Let's gas them. Yeah, really. Well, what pisses me off is that we're not sending any of these people to prison. Or at least not enough of them. Should have shot more of them on the 6th. One wasn't enough. Not the way they acted. They're at the door. You're only one to want. I'll give you that. Buster, get in the house. You're only one dog. What good are you? Make me get up twice, see? That doesn't do me any good. Doesn't do me any good. You're only one dog. I need two. You're no help. You were supposed to be 2 dogs. Exactly. Trump and then was released to do it. Trump will write from prison. Yeah. Well, now he's touring the whole country, campaigning for everybody right now. He's just left Nevada, heading to Alaska to help. What's her name? The one that was running for vice president before. What's her name? I can't think of it right now. Sarah Palin. I guess he's helping her run for governor or something up there. So, oh, and while he was in Arizona, he had to bring up, of course, that election was stolen. He can't give that up. He's just nuts. Yeah, Palin. Yeah, she was a cartoon, wasn't she? Man. I think she's right, I believe. So she's still at it. So I don't know. Alaska's a weird place. They're they have the highest crime rate, you know. And you say more rapes than any other state. Only the good die young, yeah. That's why Trump's still around. I just can't believe that in his mental state they haven't locked him up yet. Exactly. It's lawless. So yeah, they have a very high crime rate and highest rape rate in the country. So not a good place for women to go. So any women out there thinking of going to Alaska, just put that thought right out of your mind. And introduce the socialist program of sharing Alaskan profits. Palin, oh. Oh, that's weird. A socialist Republican. He's at the door. Oh. Ooh. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So no show on Tuesday. I'm having knee surgery. They're going in do arthroscopic surgery on my meniscus in my right knee. So I won't be doing a show. Yep. And then after they fix that one, they're going to take a look at my right one, my left one. Oh, yeah? Yeah, and then because there's something completely different wrong with my left knee. So I don't know what they're going to do with that one. Got a lot of motorcycle traffic out here today. So it's a nice day to ride. Of course, I can't do that anymore, but you can't straighten it. My left one, it's the right one is just sore. It's hard to climb stairs, that sort of thing. But the left one, there's a lot of pain in the from a sitting position. Stairs are really difficult, but the pain is in the thigh on top of the knee. That's where it hurts a lot. Like it would that be tendon pain on top there? You still throw your discus sometimes? See, that's one thing I can't do is twist. L4, L5, L5, S1. That's the patellar tendon. Okay, well, that's what I'm having trouble with. And so I had those discs removed, and anything like bowling or pitching horseshoes or anything like that, that'll lay me up for days. So any kind of twisting motion like that, I can't do that. Over and pick a dime up off the floor, but I mean, my back's in great shape. I just can't twist. Wow. That's pretty good at your age, you old man. Yeah, see, I ain't making it. And I really miss ping pong. I used to be really good at, because you had to do something in Alaska in the winter. We even got into slot car racing. We were building radio controlled aircraft from scratch, out of wood, Wow. 206. 206 what? Your weight? What was 206? Oh, 206 feet. Oh, okay. That's pretty far. You weighed 240? A lot of muscle. I got you. I understand. I'm a little slow, at my age. You're athletic. 340. That was my top weight. down to 235. You threw 220? Oh. Yeah, so I lost a small person. That was back in the 80s, early 90s, when I was large. So kind of glad I'm not that large anymore. That's why I got this turkey neck here, because I was huge. I was a big dude. Well, I got, you know what I got? I got a lot of skin that used to be full of fat. So I got a lot of flab hanging, you know. I don't weigh a lot now. I don't weigh as much as I used to, but I retained a lot of that flesh. So you keep a beard to cover your turkey neck? Yeah, well, yeah, I just like to cut it off with a pair of scissors one day. You know, I just go to the hospital, have them stitch it up, you know. Except I'd bleed out on the way there, and that's a problem. I have to do it in the parking lot. And then rush into the emergency room with my neck cut open, you know, say, fix this. Yeah. Big pair of scissors or something, just go snip. Yeah, there you go. Give some flesh to a burned patient. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Here, gives all new meaning to the old skin, don't it? Freeman comes with age spots. Yeah. Yeah. Now you deal with them. Yeah. I got a lot of skin to donate. I got huge globs of it. Yeah. I mean, feet. I got feet of skin I could give away. Abs. You could just cut it off. So, plus I'd weigh a lot less too. They could just take all the skin away. Yes, I'm not fat. I'm fleshy. That's what it is. You know, it's all empty flesh now. All the fat's gone. Just empty sacks of flesh. As disgusting as that sounds. Uh, you know, I stretched out the skin. The fat went away, but the skin didn't go back. All those years are being stretched out. So I guess there's no way to, you know, all that elasticity didn't last. The elast didn't last. Yeah, well, it is gross. You're right. Nobody wants to see me naked. You know, that's for sure. I don't want to see me naked. Yeah. So, I pity my doctors. Poor things. So, what they have to put up with. And we live in Buddy in high school had huge red stretch marks in his armpits from lifting. Oh, really? That's too bad. Those will never go away. Ripping tight skin. Yeah. Yeah, well, I got stretch marks too. I got stretch marks. I got lots of extra skin. Just nothing to put in it. Maybe I could have a pouch put in. Place to put my car keys, that sort of thing. Pockets. Like a kangaroo pouch or something, Built-in, a built-in pouch, just put all my things in there. Wouldn't have to have pockets. Yeah, marsupial pouch. There you go. But I ain't carrying no kids in it. No kids allowed. I ain't letting no kids. No kids in my pouch. So that's all I got to say about that. Of course, I could have numerous marsupial pouches. A couple on the side, one in the front, a couple in the back. And hookah in your pouch for relentless tugging. There you go. Of course, I don't know if I want that sloshing around in there, So I have all sorts of things built in, maybe. Like Bill Beck had an ashtray in his wooden leg. Maybe I could have other, put in a microwave. Yeah, there you go. Of course, I'd be back to where I was just as fat as I was before. Hauling all this shit around with me. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm giving up on the marsupial pouches. I'm not doing that. I'd rather get rid of it all. Okay, well, I'm going to shut things down anyway. It's going on dinner time. So remember, there's nothing funny about peace, love, and understanding. So no Tuesday show. Have a knee surgery. See you next Saturday, though. Okay? Stop in. We'll talk again. Bye now. Love you too.